Hey everyone, it's me, it's Shonda Mulcahy, and hopefully I am in the event, and I'm gonna apologize. I'm a total hot mess right now because I literally just drove in the garage. I had a party tonight and things were taking a little bit longer than what I was hoping. So I'm gonna stall for just one moment, and I apologize for that while we get tuned in. So hey guys, hey Jesse, how's it going? From Idaho, I not to hoe, you to hoe. I know that's old, it's so old. Hey Nikki, how's it going? Okay, so let me just make sure I'm in the right event. Hi Molly, hi. Hi Christy, Cindy, Andrea, great to have you guys on. Okay, yeah, we're in the right spot. So hang with me one moment while I get my, my little agenda going on here. And again, I apologize for my tardiness. All right, here we go. So, hey guys, I'm so glad. You know what, if you are a new stylist, just write, Molly, just type in here, new, I'm new. I'd love to hear from you and see how many newbies we have on here. And yeah, okay. So type, I'm new. So I'm Shonda Mulcahy. I'm gonna announce introduce myself again. Hi, Christy. Hey, Kayla. Okay. So, hi, Margaret. I'm so glad you guys are new. Michelle, yay. So this class is all for you. Christy, brand new yesterday. Maria, yay. Okay, so I'm so excited. I am Shonda Mulcahy. I'm a presidential founder and executive director with Color Street. I've been with Color Street for about a year and a half or so, but come to you with about 25 years of experience in this amazing, amazing direct selling profession. You know, I have to tell you a little bit of a story because I really want you guys to tune into this because I feel so strongly about this, the amazing opportunity that our profession has to offer. And I'm trying to get our camera just, get that down there a little bit better, but okay. Because, you know, when I first started in this profession, I was like 30 years old. So I'm really old now, but 30 years old. And you know what, quite honestly, I was a single mom. My kids were 3 and 5. I had gone through a divorce. I was trying to figure out how to make ends meet based on my income being the sole income for my family. And quite honestly, you know, I was working full time. And that was great. I loved my job. I loved the people that I worked for. However, it was not making all of the ends meet because you know what? Yeah, you can pay your monthly bills, or I could pay my monthly bills with my paycheck, but I couldn't do anything extra, like, you know, when dental appointments came up, or, you know, I had a car emergency, or, you know, a washing machine broke or something like that. I just didn't have enough to be able to cover those extras. So this profession, the direct selling profession, allowed me the opportunity to not only pay the bills and get those little extras, but it allowed me to eventually, as a single parent, as a single person, stay at home with my children and stop paying the daycare, stop allowing daycare to raise my kids, be able to be at home with them, and have a 6-figure income for over 20 years. I want to tell you that story because I believe so strongly in everything that this profession has to offer. And if you listen closely, if you really tune in and you really take things seriously and you become a business person, okay? Like, this is not just some little, you know, dry nail polish gig. This is something that can truly change the trajectory of yours and your family's life. And that's why we really want to pour into you as a new stylist and really give you some good information tonight to get you off to the strongest start possible, because the stronger you get started, the longer you're going to last and the more fun you're going to have, because this is truly a super fun business. But if you're really making money while you're having fun, it gets way more fun and way more interesting. So that's what I'm here to do, is to pour into you and give you some of that information. So with that being said, I'm still trying to find the right outline that I have here. One moment. It's buried here somewhere. You guys don't even want to see my desk. Because I'm finding that the one I'm looking for is not here. It's not the one that I'm looking for. How's that sound? There we go. There it is. Okay. So I want to start with talking about our Jumpstart program, because, you know, Jumpstart is a great way to get some extra tools, and it's super fun to be able to win prizes and receive that recognition. However, there's a bigger strategy behind our Jumpstart program, and that is to give you as a brand new stylist some benchmarks to shoot for, because as a brand new business person, you may not know exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. And so if you focus, if you just kind of allow that Jumpstart to guide you, the Jumpstart program to guide you, you are going to get off to a really good start. So let's talk about Jumpstart, because it's a great way to help you and your team. Anybody that you bring in as a new stylist into this program is going to get you off to a great start. It really provides you with some extra incentives. And as you achieve the requirements to meet the Jumpstart goals, you're going to receive those bonuses and recognition that goes along with it. It's really, let's call it a springboard to success. If you call it a springboard to success, it's going to help you take advantage of our compensation plan. And so that's why the Jumpstart program is so important. So Jumpstart is broken down into 3 sections. You've got your first 35 days, your first 65 days, and your first 95 days. So the cool thing is that your 35 days is included in the 65, and the 65 days is included in the 95. So whatever, the stronger start that you get off to in your first 35 days gives you trajectory into achieving your 65 and 95 day goals. So in the first period, when you achieve simply $1,000 in sales in your first 35 days, and I'll help you break this down in a minute, when you do that, you're going to receive a $50 product credit from Color Street. Now, what does a $50 product credit mean for you? It could mean you could purchase some more nail strips, you could purchase some catalogs, you could maybe get some nail files, or whatever it is that you need for your business. You can purchase those on credit instead of having to actually pay for them. Why is that important? It's important because as a business person, we want you to earn anything that you can. Why would you pay for anything you could get for free, right? It just makes sense that when you reach for these benchmarks that Color Street will reward you with product credits for, it makes sense to take advantage of that, because not only are you earning income by reaching for those benchmarks, but you're also getting those product credits. So you're earning money and saving money, because you know what? You are a business person, and you do have to reinvest a little bit in your business. You're going to need some tools. You're going to need some nail strips. You're going to need some twosies. You're going to need some catalogs, things like that. Get that for free. Use the program that Color Street gives you so you can earn those credits and get it for free. So save money and earn money at the same time. That's really, really important. And the second caveat, or the second portion to your first 35 days, is when you enroll a new stylist. Now let's talk about that for a minute. You know, a lot of times I hear new stylists saying, well, I've kind of talked to some people, but I don't want to be pushy. Okay, I don't want to come across pushy. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're concerned about being pushy, then it's not even possible for you to be pushy, right? Right? If you have pushy on your brain, like I don't want to be too pushy, everything that you do is not going to be pushy. So I think that's really important to recognize that that is true. The second part of that is nobody in this business is ever going to teach you how to be pushy. That is the last thing that we want to have happen. Pushy pushes people away. And so what we would rather teach you is how to be engaging, how to be other people focused. You guys, is this camera fuzzy? Hold on. Is that a little better? Oh, that is better. I must have had fingerprints all over my phone, so that's better. Or my eyes just got better, one or the other. Anyway, so we're never going to teach you how to be pushy. So when it comes to talking to other people about joining your business, I want you to keep in mind that it's all about them. If you feel shy about talking to somebody, if you feel like you're being pushy about talking to somebody, then it means that you're focusing on the wrong person. It means that you're focusing on you and you're not focusing on them. As long as you are other people focused, you will never be wrong. You can never, ever come across pushy. You can never come across like you're trying to shove something down somebody's throat, because our job as a stylist is simply to share our passion. It's to talk about what we love and then let other people decide whether this is for them or not. So think about this. Again, in your first 35 days, you may not know exactly what you're doing, and that's okay. It's okay to say, I have no idea what I'm doing, but you know what? I am having a blast. I'm making some money. This is super fun. This is a really simple business. And by the way, I'm going to distinguish that. It's not easy. Being self-disciplined is not easy, but it's simple. It's a very simple business. So it's really important that you're just sharing your passion with other people, because guess what? You have friends that have thought about, trying to figure out like, how can they stay home with their kids? You know what, you guys, I can't even, like, for those of you with young children at home, I can't even imagine the price, the cost for daycare these days. It's out of this world. It was exorbitant back, 20 some years ago when I had kids in daycare. I can't even imagine what you're paying now. And so I'm seeing a trend in families making sacrifices, financial sacrifices, so one of the parents can stay home with the kids, because daycare is so exorbitant. It's just, it doesn't make sense to pay daycare, have a job, and do, try to balance everything. So who do you know that's trying to make ends meet, that has made those sacrifices so they could be at home, one of the spouses could be at home with their family? Who do you know that is up to their eyeballs in college debt? Who do you know that is just starting their family or just buying their first home and needs some ways to, remodel or decorate or do all the things that it takes, to landscape, all the things that it takes when you buy a new home? It's expensive. Life is expensive, and everything that we do, everything that we want to do takes money. Even if it means that you want to further your education, it takes money. So I just want to reiterate that this profession can provide that flexibility of working a business around your family. It can provide an amazing income. Like, guys, where else can you go and say, I want to work like 25, 30 hours a week and earn 6 figures? Yeah, that doesn't exist in corporate America. Well, maybe it does. You guys might be lucky, but I never came across that in my day. So back to my point of Jumpstart, $1,000 in sales in your first 35 days, enroll a new stylist in your first 35 days who sells at least $300 in his or her first 35 days, and you'll receive another $50 credit. So that's a total of $100 in product credit in your first 35 days. Now let's talk about the second phase, the 65 days, okay? So in the second phase, in your first 65 days, everything that you did in your first 35 days transfers to the 65 days. So it's accumulative. So it's not like you have to start over with 0. So if you sold 1,000 in your first 35, The second goal is to reach $2,500 by the end of your 65 days. Well, guess what? That's only an extra $1,500 over what you already did in the first 35 days. And when you sponsor or enroll 2 more stylists in your first 65 days, you're going to get another credit. So in month 2, it's $75 product credit. So it's $75 for sales, $75 for enrolling. That's $150 total. Add that on to your $100 in your first month, you're up to $250 in product credit. Man, that's going to buy a lot of catalogs. Guess what? Our spring catalog is coming out mid-month in March. How many of you want product credits to be able to buy those catalogs with so you don't have to pay for them? That just makes sense. It's just smart business. Now, the third part of Jumpstart is the 95-day mark. So everything that you do in the 35 and 65 days transfers to 95. Now, your goal in your first 95 days is to submit $4,000 in sales. And what if it takes 65 or 95 days to earn the $1,000 in sales? You get paid for that, but you don't receive the product credit. So the product credit has a deadline, 35 days. 65 days, 95 days, so it's 1,000, then 2,500, and then 4,000. So Karen, just go for it, and I'll show you how to do that, okay? So when you sell $4,000 in your first 95 days, guess what? That's another $150 in product credit, right? So now you're up to $400 in product credit. And the cool thing is that when you promote to a rank called team leader, you'll receive a $100 cash bonus for doing that. Now, if you promote to team leader in your first 65 days, and I know a lot of you on here have done that. I was one of those, did that, easy peasy. That's a $200 cash bonus. And here's the cool thing. I want you guys to get really familiar with Jumpstart and really embrace it, because every time that you enroll a new stylist who achieves these benchmarks in Jumpstart, you as the enroller get the same thing. It's what we call our 100% enroller match. So you receive the same things. Okay, Ashley, $4,000 and how many stylists do you have to sign on? So to maximize the product credit in your month, in your first 95 days, is when you sponsor a total of 3 qualified stylists. Actually, that's in your first 65 days. So in your first 65 days, when you enroll 3 qualified stylists, a qualified stylist means that they've signed on within your first 65 days, and then they submitted at least $300 in sales within their first 35 days, if that makes sense. Don't want to confuse you. And then the team leader bonus is for promoting to team leader in your first 95 days. Or your first, somewhere about there, depending on where the month end lands. Does that answer your question? I hope that does. So just let me know if it doesn't. So the product credits can be used right away, or they can be saved. They never expire. That's a pretty cool thing. And they can be used either for the retail product or for your business supplies. So Diana, if you miss your 35 days, can you make your 65 and 95 day? Yes. So if you miss that 1,000 in your first 35, but you hit 2,500 by your 65 deadline, yes, you get the 65 day prizes and the 95 days. So Ashley, if you do not sign on anyone, do you still get credit, or you have to do both? No. Sales is one category, enrolling is another category. So you get, if you do the double, you double dip in it, but it's one and two, if that makes sense. Okay, jump starts are totally doable. You hit all of yours. Congratulations, Larissa. That's awesome. Okay, so Christy, if you signed up with only 3 days left in February, how does that work? Your 35 days starts from the day you sign up. So you've got your 35 days, which is probably going to be like right around March 30th, 31st, could be even April 1st, depending on your day. And you can look that up in the virtual office to see what your deadline is. Then you have that. So, and yeah, that's where your surprise, Ashley, you did something really good. So you got product credit. Okay, so that's a little bit about Jumpstart. Now let's move on to our compensation plan, because again, you're in business for yourself. Business is fun. A lot of us sign on to this business because it's really, really fun. We love the product. We're having a blast with it. But honest to goodness, if you don't make money, you're not going to stick around. So let's talk about income. Okay. One moment. Okay, Ashley was surprised. Upline couldn't figure it out. So, see, you guys are just having fun doing what you're doing and you're getting prizes. That's the best, right? See how much more fun it gets when you're getting prizes. Okay, so let's talk about our compensation plan, because Color Street is a party plan company, okay? So there's two types of companies when it comes to a direct selling or network marketing type of company. There's a party plan company, which primarily does their marketing through parties, and there's also a MLM or a multi-level marketing company. Now, Color Street has a compensation plan that actually marries the two of these, which is a brilliant thing. It's beautiful because it's a very, very rich compensation plan. But let's go back to the mother of everything that we do comes back to parties, because parties are where you expand your client base. So let's say, for example, I want to talk about something that we call Launch Plus 4. So as a brand new stylist, our success plan, without a doubt, no question, is what we call Launch Plus 4. So what that means, and I'll post a video in our event here so you can see. If you haven't seen the Launch Plus 4 video, I want you to really pay attention to that, because the biggest rookie mistake that I see new stylists make is that they come in and they're like, okay, I'm going to sell to my mom and my neighbors and my book club and, you know, the girl at the gym and blah, blah, blah. So you're kind of doing one-on-ones. Well, one-on-ones are great. They'll get you a little bit of sales, a little bit of exposure, but they come to a screeching halt. Whereas when you do something called Launch Plus 4, this is a very strategic way for you to build your client base outside of your immediate circle of family and friends. Because guess what? As much as your family and friends love your product, they may not need to buy it every single month. And you do not want to go knocking on their door going, hello, you need some more nail strips because I need to meet my quotas, right? That's the last thing you want to do, is come across. That kind of comes back to that pushy thing again. So Launch Plus 4 helps you not be pushy, and it helps you expand your client base right out of the starting gate. So you start with holding what we call a launch party, and that's something that is a live party. You could host it in your home. You could host it at a restaurant. You could do it at a friend's house. Doesn't matter where, at a coffee shop, at a wine bar, wherever you want to do it. And that's where you invite your friends, your family, people that you know. It's kind of like if you were opening a brick and mortar store in your community and you put a big grand opening banner outside and you do a big, push for getting people through your store. This is the same way. That's what a launch party is all about. You're inviting multiple people to come and check this out, because the more people that you're able to show what you're doing, the more people will spread the word, and the more interest you'll get, the more customers you'll start to get. So you start with your live launch party. The second part, there's a part 2 of your launch party, and that's to do a Facebook party, a Facebook live launch party, to reach the people that are outside of your immediate area where you live. We all know people in other states, other areas, maybe other towns that maybe are a couple hours away. So you're able to reach those people with that. So put those two together as your launch party. You're the hostess and the stylist. You're able to receive the host credit. You're able to get the commission. So it's a win-win-win situation. The Launch Plus 4 part, let's talk about the 4 part, is where you're looking for 4 people to host a party at their house, at their neighborhood, community, their restaurants, wherever it is that they want to hold it. Doesn't matter where they hold it, just want it to be happening, okay? Live is the best way to do that because we want you to get in front of people. We want you to practice your spiel. We want you to practice your people skills and be able to start really building a rapport with people. When there's something about when you're looking somebody in the eye, there's more connection. Now, if you can't do that, a lot of our stylists with Color Street are very successful doing Facebook parties as well. Now, if you do Facebook parties, I suggest doing maybe like 6 or 8 instead of 4 because our sales and our exposure, our bookings are just so much bigger with live parties than they are with Facebook parties. But either way, I think it's a really good thing to do, a combination of all of it, okay? Because again, you're gonna be able to receive the commissions. It's gonna help you meet your jumpstart goals, and we talked about how important that is. And it'll help you book more parties. That's the really important part. Because if you average 2 bookings per party that you do, guess what? Your 4 parties have just turned into 8. And then when you hold 8 parties, and there will be some cancellations because shift happens in this business. I did say shift happens in this business. So let's say you hold 6 parties the next month, and that turns into 12. And then those 12 turn into 10, and so you hold 10 parties the next month, and that turns into 20. I mean, how brilliant is that? So now you're really outside of your circle of immediate family and friends, and you're able to really build that client base. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, it's so brilliant. Launch plus 4 is where it's at. And again, I'll post that video for you. But let's talk about the compensation for those parties that you're doing, because it's really up to you to decide. Now, I'm going to challenge you to set yourself a goal. Decide what it is that you really want to do with your business. Decide, like, what kind of income do you want to earn with your business? Because guess what? I don't even care if you even signed up to be a hobbyer. It's still a business. I want you to put your business head on and say, okay, even if I'm hobbying, I still want to make money with this, right? Even if it's not a lot of money, I still want to be profitable, because that would be a smart business person move, right? Okay, so I'm going to hold up a visual for you, because let's talk about nail bars and what that will do for you. So our average nail bar, live nail bar, I should say, is about $300 in sales. Now, I know that we have some really brilliant Facebook partiers in our group who also have a $300 party average. But most people have more like a $150 party average with Facebook parties. So that's why I'm a huge advocate of live. Do as many live as you can, believe me. It's going to make your life so much easier to do that. But you can also get that experience with Facebook parties. Just these numbers will look a little bit different. So what I want you, when you say live, are you referring to in-home or live on Facebook? I'm referring to a face-to-face party. Live party, I call a Facebook party is what I call a Facebook party. So a live party is in-home, in a restaurant. It's with real live people face-to-face, Ashley. Good question. Okay, so with a live party, 1 nail bar per week is going to cost you about 2.5 hours of time, okay? But if you're doing 1 nail bar per week, that's going to give you about, based on averages, $1,400 in sales. And based on that average, that'll give you about $420 in profit, okay? Diane, we'll talk about a home party. What does that consist of here shortly, okay? We'll come back to that. What I want you all to do right now is to decide how many parties per week do you want to hold. Let me differentiate this. I don't want you to decide, I don't want you to look at your calendar and say, okay, I've got 3 parties on my calendar, so I want to hold 1 a week. No, what do you want? I want you to decide. What do you want? Not what do you have, but what do you want, okay? So our next one is 2 nails bars per week. Is going to cost you about a total of 5 hours to do those. That's doing the party, that's keying in the orders, that's doing your host coaching, all of that stuff is included. So about 5 hours, and that's going to give you about $2,800 in sales, which, hello, $988 in profit. That's almost $1,000, you guys, in profit. by holding 2 nail bars per week? Are you kidding me? 5 hours per week? Are you kidding me? What part-time job are you going to get where you can work 5 hours per week and earn about $1,000? Legally. Let's say legally. Okay, so we'll throw that in there. All right, so 3 nail bars per week is going to cost you about 7.5 hours. So you guys are probably getting the routine here. It's about 2.5 hours per party, okay? Again, that's host coaching, that's the party, that's keying in orders, answering questions, follow up, all that stuff. So 7.5 hours, $4,200 in sales, and $1,470 in profit. Hello? That's good money, right? Like, there's some people that are working full-time and don't even bring that home. Especially if you're paying daycare, you're probably bringing that home. So, I mean, hello. Okay. Or you could decide on holding 4 nail bars per week. That's about 10 hours of work. $5,600 in sales based on that average $300 party. $1,960 in profit. How many nail bars do you want to hold? How much profit do you want to earn per month by really committing to the number of parties that you want to hold per week? Okay? Rachel, is the profit what you would earn each week or a month? This is a monthly profit that I'm talking about. So if you did 2 nail bars per week, that's $980 profit for the month. Great question. Thank you. So tell me, how many parties per week are you willing to commit to? How many parties per week? Yes, Christy, I can post that sheet for you. How many parties per week are you willing to hold in order to generate the profit? And I just want to point out, this is just your personal profit. So that's not including once you develop a team or anything like that. This is just your personal thing. But most importantly, okay, good, Ashley, once a week. At least. I'm going to challenge you, Ashley. You hit your jumpstart goal and you didn't even know what you were doing. Okay, Christy, 4 parties per week. Okay. All right. So the other part of this, the other important part that I want to point out is, yes, this gives you profit, but more importantly, every nail bar that you hold gives you more bookings on your calendar. And guess what? More bookings leads to new stylists. That's where you're going to meet your best people. You're going to meet people at these parties who are thinking, what? Like, I can earn income doing what you're doing. Like, this is the coolest product ever, and I want to earn some income doing this. So you're saying I can earn money? Like, they're not just going to pay me in nail strips. They're going to pay me in money? Yeah, I could see myself doing this. So again, who do you know that is a stay-at-home mom, the family is making sacrifices, financial sacrifices to be at home with the kids? Or who do you know that's coming out of college with incredible debt? Or who do you know that's buying their first home, or just getting married, or just getting ready to start their family? There's so many reasons that people are looking for an in-home business like this. And guess what? You're with the hottest company out there right now. Hottest company. Color Street is the hottest company out there. So get out there and talk about it. Just share. Just really, really share with people what you're passionate about. Okay, Ashley, March already has a couple weeks with 2 parties. 1 a week is the minimum. No, I'm not talking minimums, Ashley. I'm challenging you, girl. I am challenging you. This is not about saying I'll settle for it. This is about setting a goal and going for it. Okay? Go for your goal. But you have to decide. You have to commit to your goal. And then once you do that, things start to happen. Things start to come to fruition. Make money. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. So that was about setting your goal. And thank you for those of you that are talking about it. And Ashley, I'm still waiting for you. Challenge accepted. Good girl. Okay. All right. So we talked about Jumpstart. We talked about nail bars. We talked about the compensation for them. I want to talk about, just briefly, the power of hostess coaching, because it is so vital to your parties, be it a live face-to-face party or a Facebook live party, doesn't matter what type of party. The time that you can influence the attendance of that party is before the party happens. Once you get to the party, or once you start that party, you can no longer influence the attendance, okay? It's through working with your hostess to keep her or him excited about their party. That's the time that you have the most influence over who is attending the party, okay? So host coaching. Let's say you book a new party, you add it to your calendar, and by the way, I'm just gonna make a point. A booking is not a booking until it's on your calendar. It needs to be on your calendar, in writing, with a day, a name and a time, and it's designated. That's when it's a booking. And once the booking is on your calendar, that's when the real work begins, okay? That's when, now let me ask you guys this. Have you ever booked a party with any of the direct selling companies and you didn't hear from the consultant until 2 days before the party? And then by the time they called you or reached out to you, you were like, oh crap, I forgot. Ever had that happen? I have. I'm raising my hand. I've had that happen where I'm like, oh my God, that's this weekend? I forgot. Because you know what? When I'm at a party and I book a party with somebody, I write it down on my calendar because, good, Rachel, yes, you've had that. I write it down on my calendar because I'm a business person, right? I keep a calendar and it's got all of my business appointments on it. It is so frustrating, Andrea, when they do that, but here's my point. You did that. They didn't do that. We did that. Because whose responsibility is it? Whose income is dependent on the party? Ours is. Is she earning money from the party? No, this is just something fun for her. It's our responsibility as a stylist to be on top of the party, right? It's our responsibility to keep our host engaged and excited about his or her party. That's really important. And I really, like, if you guys get nothing else from tonight, I want you to understand that your business is your responsibility. Hostesses don't decide our business. Customers don't decide our business. It's you that decides your business. It's you that takes control of it. Because my question is, if anybody ever calls me and says, so-and-so, you know, I can't believe people are canceling, people are doing, I'm like, yeah, and who's in charge of that? You are. That's the answer. Me, I'm in charge of that. So take responsibility for your business. You're in charge of it. Stay in contact with your hostess. That's the bottom line. One of the things I love to do is when I book a nail bar with somebody, I like to just jot a little postcard in the mail to them saying, so excited about your party on March 9th at noon. I'll be in touch with you. So excited to see you. Because now she has something in writing. Even if I gave her a host packet, maybe I mailed something, I just want to do it a couple of times. Maybe I'll, of course, send, like when you set up a party in the virtual office, it automatically sends an email to your hostess. Okay, there's another confirmation. Confirm with your hostess like 3 times. Snail mail, your email, your virtual office hostess thingy, hostess link that they get. And also verbally, either, you know, through PM or a voicemail or a call or something, you're confirming 3 times. Because guess what? When you confirm 3 times, she's going to kind of catch on that you're serious, right? Because who's in charge of your party? You are. That's right. Okay, so that's a little bit about the power of host coaching. There is a lot of information on the Team Freedom page about host coaching. Mostly like Angelique posted a, if you go to the files tab, it's host coaching like a boss. That's it. Host coaching like a boss. Pull that document up. It's fabulous. She did an amazing job with that. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to the question about what consists of a party. So we're going to talk about nail bars. So again, if you look around on the Team Freedom page, there are a lot of ideas on there. And I will post a couple of ideas in this event to help get you started. Now, I personally am a live party queen, like a face-to-face live party queen. Some of the things that consist of a live party is we really want to engage our customers, and keep in mind that the number one reason that people host a party or book a party is not for the free product. Believe it or not. I know that's usually the answer that comes up, but the number one reason that people book a party is for fun, okay? It's for fun. If you make the party fun and engaging for your group, then you'll get more bookings. But there's also a couple of things that you can do at your party to generate more bookings. So I want to give you a little factoid. When you're talking about something, only about 15%, or I'm sorry, when you're talking about something at a party, your audience will only be able to grasp about 15% of what you say. So I want you to think about this. What happens when you're talking to your children, maybe your husband? They grab about 15% of what you say. The rest of it just kind of goes right in the air. So 85% of our world population are visual learners. Okay, not audible, but visual. So if we show them something, they'll understand it better. So when we're talking about booking parties, well, we sell three things at our parties. Let me back that up. Sell three things at our parties. Number one, we sell our product. Very, very easy to visually sell that, right? Because we show them how to apply it. You know, we talk a little bit about the product. That's easy. The second thing that we sell is bookings. Okay, that's a little bit harder to sell. So we have some tricks for that. And the third thing that we sell is the business, okay? So when you're preparing for your party, I want you to ask yourself, how am I visually going to sell these three things? Because again, visual, they're able to get about 85% of that. How do you visually sell the product? You pass around nail strips. You show them how to put the product, how to apply the product. You show them, one moment. Had to grab some product. You show them that it's 100% real nail polish. I don't know, you guys can't see that. My lighting is strange here. You show them that it's made in the USA. Those are all important things to help your customers grasp what you're talking about, okay? Let's talk about bookings. So the second thing that we sell is bookings. How do you visually sell bookings? Okay, what is the number one reason that people book a party? Fun. Not for the free stuff, but for fun. However, sometimes they'll book a little bit sooner because of the free stuff. So there's a game called Stack the Hostess, and that is another visual demonstration that you can play either at live parties or Facebook parties. It works at both, but you're visually showing them like how many nail strips does a hostess receive for hosting a party. Yes, Diane, thank you. I'm glad you love the party cards. And if you guys didn't see the virtual rally, when was the virtual rally? It was on the 12th of February when we talked about the party cards. And those party cards can be found in the Files tab under the Team Freedom page. The virtual rally can also be found on the Team Freedom page. Party cards are so effective because it does all the work for you at your parties, but that's a whole nother training that we could go into. So, but check it out. That information is there for you. I will post a video that I made for how to play Stack the Hostess at your parties to give your customers a visual of what they get, what they receive for hosting a party. And you can also, with the party cards, I like to do tickets. So that's the engaging part of the party. Okay. Okay, the third thing that we sell at our parties is the business, okay? How do you visually sell the business? Guess what? You're your best visual. If you are friendly, professional, approachable, and fun at your parties, and I don't care how shy you are or introverted you are, you can still make the party fun, okay? By using party cards, by using Stack the Hostess, by giving away tickets, something like that. There's a ton of ways that you can make it fun, but you are going to be the best visual. So really polishing your personal story about why you got started with Color Street. What was your biggest fear when you started? How did you overcome that? And what does your future look like? Tell us how much fun you're having. Tell us all the perks of being a stylist with Color Street. Planting those seeds throughout your party, and Diane Hastings is the queen of planting seeds at parties. I mean, there's just so many ideas that you could grab onto. And again, there's so many trainings out there, and we're certainly happy to do more trainings about those things too. But the main thing is that when you're talking about your personal story, when you're talking about how Color Street is making your life more pleasant, it doesn't have to be like earth-shattering, life-changing, although there's a ton of those stories out here too. But it could be something as little as, hey, I was able to pay my electric bill with my Color Street money. Or, you know, I'm so happy to get out of the house once a week away from the kids because I get to go do a Color Street nail bar. It could be something as simple as that. It could be, you know what, I feel sane because I get to talk to women during the day, even when my toddlers are screaming. You know, it could be something, anything. Just tell your story. Just share it and be authentic about it. Just share your story and be authentic, because those people are going to resonate with you. And that's where you're going to find a lot of really great stylists to join your team. Be authentic. You know, you get to choose who you want to work with. You get to choose the bestest, funnest, coolest people with super cool, badass superpowers. So just get out there and look for them. Just keep in mind, you know what, your sponsor offered this business to you as a gift because he or she saw something in you that they thought would make you a really great stylist. You know, just get out there and share your excitement, share your passion for the product, for the Fa Park story. It just shows others that, you know, nobody has to be perfect to do this business. We're all a bunch of hot messes in one way or another. We all share that in common, and I love that because, you know, this is a big sisterhood with a few brothers in here too. So all of your upline leaders are here to support you. We're here to give you all the training that you want. All you have to do is ask a question, and one of us will go live and we'll talk about it, and we'll give you some training that will help you to achieve the things that you're looking for. But really, honestly, I just want to encourage you to set a goal, okay? Set that goal, challenge yourself, do something bigger than what you think you're capable of doing. Just what we call a BHAG, a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. Set it for yourself, because you will be amazed at what can happen when you reach out and do that. So ladies, I will post a couple videos for you. I'll post this little sheet for you, and go back into this event. Check it out in the next few minutes. And I hope you guys have a great night. Hit me up with any questions, okay? Bye, guys.